tell you what, there's a lot of lies and deception going around on YouTube about how easy it is to construct things out of recycled pallets. Okay, so I'm not saying for all these guys who obviously have construction as their primary trade, or carpenters, or just general all handyman hotshots, you know who you are. But for us men with just average carpentry skills, I'll tell you what, if you are a man with average carpentry skill, do not fall into this trap, or else you'll end up like me, who is like, hey, it would be a sweet idea to make some raised beds out of recycled pallets. And you'll go, yeah, you'll go and you'll go behind the freaking Walmart or wherever you can find some pallets. You'll find some just average looking, rusty, broken ones that no one wants. They're just gonna get picked up and turned to plywood anyway. And you're gonna take them and you're gonna throw them in the back of your Explorer. Yeah, that's what you're gonna do. And you're gonna bring them back to your house and you're gonna begin to dismantle them. And that's where the fun begins. Because you're probably gonna get something like this, probably a rubber mallet, I don't know, probably a crowbar, probably something like that. Probably a hammer, right? Just average tools that you might have, or you can easily acquire. But you know what you won't have? You won't have one of those handy dandy, specifically designed for breaking pallets down, 10-foot long crowbars that they sell on Amazon that cost $70. That's what you won't have. And that's what you need to efficiently and quickly do this process without breaking every single board. So let me just break down to the fine details of how you're gonna easily and quickly find out that this is one of the worst decisions you ever made in your life. So what'll happen is when you try to take these boards down, when you try to take these pallets down, let me just show you here. So on this right here, what you're gonna run into is needing to pry off here, here, and here, right? So sometimes they got 3 nails, sometimes they got 5 nails, sometimes they have 2 nails, sometimes they have 17 nails per section of board. So what you'll quickly find, because these things have been sitting out in the weather and all that, is that you're gonna start to have your board snap in half, right? Crack, have all sorts of issues, okay? Let me find a good example board. Here we go. Because I only have a couple 100,000 of them laying around here. I got this, right? Yes, I have found a use for it, right? I'm recycling. I'm being resourceful, okay? I'm putting my good common sense to the test. I'm trying to make it work. But you're not gonna get all these perfect boards. So you're gonna end up breaking down double the amount of pallets that you're gonna want to. I'll tell you what, I spent about 4, 5, maybe sweaty, long hours to get this pile of wood right here, which is a pretty decent pile, but I've got this zombie raised bed situation right here. This thing, like I said, I'm a man of average building skill. This thing is not very level. Will it hold dirt, netting, all that stuff? Will it work? Will it stand up? Yeah, probably. Probably will. Probably work just fine. But it's not pretty. There's nothing to take home to mom. There's nothing to take home to your wife. You know what I mean? You're gonna put it in the corner. It's gonna be disgraceful. You're gonna be like, I can't believe this. Also, be prepared to buy some of your own nails, because some of these guys say, hey, just reuse the nails that came with it. Let me find like a primo candidate. All your nails are pretty much gonna look like this. You're not gonna be reusing them for jack, right? You're gonna be throwing away these nails. You're gonna be sitting here going, what do I do with all these monstrosities? How do I not step on them? So you're gonna have to break it down. You're gonna have to try to not break the boards, which is a highly delicate process. I probably broke at least 50% of all the boards on some capacity or completely in half, right? If you find yourself in a situation where you have a really nice board, right? Like this right here. It's a pretty nice board, pretty solid. I cracked it a little bit, but pretty nice. Then what's gonna happen is you're gonna have to get all these nails out, right? And let me tell you, it's not as easy as you think. You're gonna get a cold dose of ice water reality when you start to try to knock all the nails out of these things. And like I said, the amount of nails varies because people are not just really giving away their best and brightest pallets. Not giving away their best by any means. They are putting out the stuff in the back that nobody wants, that is probably not gonna hold a load when it's shipped and all that. So yeah, it's gonna be slightly difficult to come by uniform, good pieces of wood out of these pallets, because you're gonna have all these nails in them. So it's a challenge. So it's a labor of love, and by labor of love, I mean you better love carpentry, because if you don't, then you're gonna be severely in a world of pain. So anyhow, just be prepared for that challenge, because some people try to make it look like it's really easy. It's not. And I'm going on my third day, probably 6th hour, and I have a raised bed almost completed. I'll be fair and say that yes, I did just about complete this. But is it a gangly, ugly, just disgusting looking Frankenstein creation? Yes it is. It's pretty gross. And you know what? I think by the time that I'm done with it, or that I put to use any of these other boards, I may not do it again. I may do it again, but I'll tell you what, if you want a painful life lesson, in short, to sum all this up, if you want a painful life lesson, break down some pallets and build something with them. And you will only then know the meaning of pain.